Hey Simplies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm Michelle, also known as Simply Shell. Today I kind of just want to do like an updated video, just touching base on my mental illness, my mental state, everything that has to do with my brain. I did a video a few months ago pertaining to me having anxiety and panic attacks and how it is for me and how hard it is just dealing with it and accepting it, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, and this is what I have, and this is the cards that I've been dealt. But I want to talk about how hard it is being an influencer and dealing with anxiety and panic attacks, and how having this condition that decided to just come in and invade my life a few years ago and just turn my life upside down with no warning. But we're here and we're dealing with it. But how it has affected me being an influencer, being in the public eye, being on social media, just everything that comes with it, and how it's a struggle for me on a day-to-day basis, because I have always wanted to be in the limelight. I've always wanted to be on TV. I've always wanted to be great, and I always wanted to be able to show the world how great I am. Since forever, since I can remember, whether it was dancing in front of my family, dancing in the studio, just everybody knowing me for who I was in school, just being popular, everybody knowing me for being that crazy person, that social butterfly, you know, all the good characteristics that make me feel like I wanted to be seen in a good way, to make people laugh and to make people feel good. So, you know, it wasn't too long before I decided to do this whole YouTube thing. I originally started off with Facebook, and I wasn't really doing too much on Facebook, and then I took it a notch higher and I started doing Instagram, and that's where my platform just focused on just natural hair. Like, that's when I showed the world me discovering myself. I felt liberating after my big chop, and I basically went through the whole hair journey with other girls on Instagram that could relate, and I just boom, boom, boom. That's how I, you know, got my name out there like that. But then I kind of wanted to take it up another notch, because I feel like there's always more to do. You know, you always need to level up more. So I decided to try YouTube because, you know, I seen it was fun. It was a fun way to express yourself, engage with people, get your name out there, and do what you love to do. But at a time when anxiety and panic attacks tried to come into my life, I wasn't too focused on those type of things. So it wasn't so hard for me, because all I had to do was just focus on just my 2 kids at the time, and I wasn't worrying about social media. If I'm rambling, I'm sorry. These are all the things that I want to say, and these are all the things that I gotta get out, but I kind of didn't write it down, so just bear with me. So it wasn't a big deal then, but now that I've taken it serious now, and a few years have passed, my anxiety has really tried to stop me. It has tried to make me feel stagnant. It has really changed my perspective. It has really changed my mind, and it has made me really like learn myself, learn who I am, and understand that I have a lot of worry. I have a lot of worry, and I have a lot of things that I didn't even know that I had when I was younger, a few years ago. And then it's just, certain things just start to resurface and kick up a whole lot of things, and things that you didn't think bothered you then, they just start to come. And it's like, well, why wasn't I thinking about this then? Why didn't it affect me in my teenage years? Why is it now affecting me in my life when I feel like I have a goal that I'm trying to accomplish? I have a career that I'm trying to master. And why are you trying to do this right now? So being an influencer, it's not easy when you have this type of condition, because it requires you to constantly be on a camera. It requires you to constantly engage with people. It requires you to go to events. It requires you to do sponsorships where you have to constantly have the camera looking at you. So it has been quite a struggle. It's been quite a fight. And like I said, you guys only know what you see when I turn the camera on, but I want you to know that it's been crazy. And a lot of people that do not have anxiety do not understand that this illness is very symptomatic. So you may not be able to see that I have anxiety. You may not be able to see that I have panic attacks, because I look the way I look, the way I carry myself. I look happy. I look like my life is all together. But these are symptoms that come whenever they want to. They come out and play. They come and they target. They come and attack me. Anytime, any day. It doesn't matter if I'm in my happiest state. Doesn't matter if I'm not worrying or stressed out. It just comes when it wants to come, and I'm learning how to cope with it and just roll with the punches as it comes. And that's where the struggle comes in at, because I have to always reset myself. So for example, I can be getting ready. I feel fine in the morning. I'm dressed. I feel good. I'm ready to win. Get ready to record my videos. Ready to do whatever I need to do. And before I even finish setting up, I can start feeling myself getting overwhelmed. Before I understood a method, because I came up with a method to try to de-escalate the situation and try to bring myself back down to not worry so much. Because now that I've had this for a while, I kind of know when it's coming. Before I had no knowledge and I didn't understand why my body was going and doing the things that it was doing. But now I know when I'm about to have a panic attack. It's almost like seconds before my body's alerted and I prepare for it. So it kind of puts a damper on my day, because when you're trying to fight through something and it's like no matter how strong you remain and no matter how positive you remain, it's just like it won't leave you alone. It's like an annoyance. It's like a fly that just keeps flying around you and you're trying to catch it and it leaves, but then it comes back again and you just can't get rid of it. That's exactly what it feels like. I fight through it, which is really, really hard for me. Not only is it hard being an influencer with this type of situation, but it's hard just being me, because I have social anxiety when it's time to go out places. Like this has kind of like taken over my whole world, where I'm now more focused on being home, because that's where I feel more comfortable, more safe, where nobody can see me, where I feel like nobody can judge me. This is like my safe haven. My husband and my children are well aware of what goes on with me, so it's kind of like a relief knowing that they don't judge me, because they know what I go through and they're so supportive, and that means the world to me. But it also hurts me because it's the most smallest things, such as going to the grocery store. To me, it's a hassle, it's a struggle. It's like I almost have to prepare myself whenever I know I have to go somewhere, even if it's right up the street to the dollar store. I always have to be like, well, what if this happens? Literally keep lavender and peppermint oil, like a small little bottle of it, in my bag, and that's my go-to, because whenever I feel it coming, I try to take a deep breath in. I try to smell the aroma and the fragrances to kind of like relax myself, because lavender really, really helps to relax your mind and your body. I've learned breathing techniques throughout these years to kind of try to like count down. Another thing that I learned to do is like just focus on something. Whether, you know, if I'm in a car and I feel it happening, I try to focus on an object or something that's in the car, and, you know, try to just distract myself from whatever it is that my body's feeling symptomatically. Not every time is it a success, but eventually after a couple of minutes it does subside and I'm able to, okay, that was rough, but you know what, I made it through. So having anxiety and panic attacks, being an influencer, has really been hard for me. Being a mom, just being myself, going out has been really hard for me. Missing out on a lot of events that I want to go to so bad, but the fear kicks in and it stops me and blocks me from going out, for even being, you know, having to bail on certain family members because I can't go because of fear. Because I just had a panic attack not too long ago before the event was about to start, and afraid that they will judge me. But I feel like the hardest thing for me, and one of the reasons why I decided to actually make this video, is because a lot of people don't understand you when you tell them that this is what you're living with or this is what you go through, because like I said, you can't see it. It's not like a disease or something like, for example, cancer, where when you have cancer, your body starts to deteriorate and you can actually see it physically. Your body's crumbling. But I'm here to tell you that anxiety and panic attacks, it literally feels like you're crumbling inside mentally in your mind. It can literally mess up your mental state, where you just don't want to deal with this anymore. It like haunts you. And it hurts when people can't identify with you. They can just say, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. They have no empathy for you because they've never experienced it. If you haven't experienced it, you cannot relate to it. That's like somebody losing a loved one and you've never lost a loved one, and you're like, I'm sorry to hear that. You will never really understand how deep that pain internally feels like, because you've never experienced it. It's just really sad that family, people that you think are the closest to you, they tend to judge you on the things that they don't know. They're used to seeing you a certain way, or they're not around you all the time. Or you put on this fake persona in front of them like you're all good, because you're fearful of them judging you. And the moment that you decide to open up and tell them, like, this is what it is for me, this is what I've been dealing with, and they just make you feel like shit, that hurts. It really does. It really hurts. But I know that anxiety and panic attack is something that I have, but I know that I don't have to let it consume me. I don't have to let it take over me. And although I'm able to talk about it right now, in the moment when it's happening to me, you know, physically to my body, all these different symptoms, that it's so hard for me to even like it's just very sensitive for me, but it literally feels like I'm not gonna make it out. I'm not gonna get through it. Like those first couple of minutes, it's so scary. It literally feels like it's not gonna end. Like you're trying so hard to fight through it. Almost like when you jump into like a deep ass pool of water, 10 feet, 20 feet water, and you're fighting to climb up to the top so you can catch your breath. But it's taking forever to get there and you just want to breathe. I'm here to say that I'm very proud of who I am, and nobody else is proud of me. I'm proud of me because, for one, it takes a lot to be able to talk about something like this, because so many people in today's world and society, especially people of color, for one, this is definitely something that's frowned upon. People don't expect to hear this coming from an African-American woman, because it's like, Black people don't go through this. Black people don't have anxiety. Girl, please, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just stressed out. It gets swept under the rug when mental illness has been around for so many years. It's just that back then, everything was just on a hush. Back then, people didn't know what it was. People didn't talk about certain things. So if you didn't talk about it and you weren't educated on it, then how will you talk about it to your children and educate them and let them know this is what it is? I feel like a lot of times anxiety and panic attacks is inherited genetically. Like, you can inherit it from a family member, or whatever the case may be. I know where it came from, and I feel like it wasn't my fault. And I feel like this is just the after effects. This is the aftermath of me suppressing and just going through so many different things as a child up until adulthood. But yeah, it totally sucks. There's days where I just want to just not do this anymore, but I know that I'm stronger than this. Even though I have this annoying condition, I can't let it stop me from being great. I have to learn how to fight through it and just keep moving. There's somebody that is dealing with this situation or whatever it is that you're going through it mentally. We have to fight through it. And those that don't understand, are not there to support us and uplift us, they don't need to be there. That goes for family too. Those who really want to help you, who want to see you win, who really love you, they will be there for you. They will not judge you just because they can't understand it. It doesn't always mean that because you have this, you need to be on some type of substance or medication. There's other ways of dealing with it. I also learned that what heightens my anxiety and panic attacks is a lot of stress. And of course we all have stress. That's something that is just like, it's just a given. Like, life is stressful, that's just what it is. But I'm trying to learn how to take it one day at a time, not overwhelm myself with too many different tasks, and have a routine for myself and take time out for myself. Because when you're doing too much, and I'm guilty, I do a lot, your mind tends to get overwhelmed, body gets overworked, you're not eating right, you're not sleeping right, not drinking enough. It could just be a whole bunch of things that just, you can be lacking certain things in your body, certain vitamins, your B12 can be low, you know, certain things that can trigger the endorphins in our brain that like heighten it. It's just a lot, but I don't know. I just wish that I was able to just, if I could have one wish, I'd make this go away. And I don't wish this on my worst enemy. Some days where I'm just like, you know what? Today's a good day. I feel like this, I'm gonna do this. As the day goes on, it just sneaks up and it tries to just break me down. It literally tries to get in my way. But once I'm able to fight through the attack, just roll with it and I just keep on doing what I'm doing. A lot of people don't understand that because they don't see that on social media. They don't see what happens when I'm done taking my picture, when I'm done recording a video. A lot of times when I'm done recording a video, I get right into bed. I change my clothes, put my pajamas on, I jump right into bed, and my body's so weak after I have an anxiety or a panic attack. It's literally like something sucks everything out of you. It feels crazy. I know that God has a plan for me. So despite this annoying situation that I have, I've come this far, and I know that I can beat this. I know that this does not have to be the end for me. It sucks and it's unfortunate, but we all have something that we're struggling and battling with, and this just so happens to be what I deal with. Does it make me feel sad and depressed sometimes? Absolutely, but I have to give it to God, and I have to look around at all the things that I do have and how far I have come and all the support that I do have. So just being proud of myself. Being proud of myself, being able to get up and put one foot in front of the other and to keep going despite the pain, despite the emotions, despite the negativity and the distractions that try to block me from doing it. I never give up because I can't. I've helped so many people. People look to me for things. I want to be the reason why somebody didn't give up today because they have the same situation as me. I know I said a mouthful, but it's really important to talk about this. I write things down a lot of times. Sometimes I just like to go sit by the water or just sit by myself and just reflect, you know. And today was one of those days where I was just like, you know what, girl, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you despite the cards you were dealt, despite some of the negative things in your life and negative people and people talking down on you, and people talking about you and people judging you. You still stand strong with your head high and you handle your business. So if you're somebody that's fighting through it right now and you just don't know what to do, you will get through it. You're stronger than you think. And anxiety and panic attacks, they're just symptoms that are annoying. But once you find out certain techniques of how to fight through it, it can't touch you no more. Some days are harder than others, and that's okay. It's okay to have that. We're human, we feel, but I won't question it. I know it's probably God who is working through me to keep me, wake me up every morning, give me the knowledge, give me the strength, give me the drive to keep going. When you have a goal and you have a passion, you can't let anything stop you. And if some days you can't do it because, you know, you're having a hard time with it, then you know what? Wait till you feel better and do it the next day. But another thing that I want to say is I do need to work on fear. I haven't kicked fear's ass yet. Like I said before, fear has stopped me from doing a lot of things because I never know when it's going to happen, who I'm around, what they'll think of me. I always just want to be somewhere where I know that if I need to get away, I can just come back home to my bubble, underneath my rock, where I'm safe. You know, and these walls in my house, it's a safe zone here. So when I'm out and about, I'm always leery. I don't want to do that, but I have to learn to. I'm proud of myself because I'm taking baby steps. I'm fighting through it. Although I'm fearful, I'm learning to try to go farther distances each time. So if there's something that I want to do, the first thing that comes to my mind is, what if this happens? I talk to my husband, what if this happens? How am I going to handle this? I'm always worrying about how far it is to get to point A to point B. Who's going to be there? How am I going to get back home? And it sucks because nobody wants to live with worry 24/7, where you're always wondering, and it can make you a nutcase. And I'm tired of doing that. So I have been fighting and overcoming my fears. I've been testing myself and trying to do things that I know I'm scared of. When I make it back home from my destination, I just look up and thank God because I'm doing something I wasn't able to do yesterday. I refuse to stay in this house and just do nothing when I have so much more to offer and so many places and things that I want to do. I'm too outgoing for that. So I say take baby steps. If you're fearful of being around people, start off by doing something and going to a place where there's not so many people, but there's still people there. And then work your way up until you start feeling more comfortable. Say get lavender and peppermint. Keep that on deck with you. That's a must-have because it's something about the aroma. It literally helps me to calm down. I also say to just try to focus on an object or something wherever you are when you feel it happening. Don't worry about what you're feeling. Just focus on that. And last thing that I say that helps me a lot is to take deep breaths in, your stomach out. So a lot of times when we're having anxiety and panic attacks, we're not really breathing. I find that for myself, I'm not really breathing, which makes it harder for me to really breathe because I feel like I'm hyperventilating. But it's because I'm holding my breath. I'm learning how to breathe. Literally, I didn't think I had an issue with breathing. I thought I just breathed like a regular person, but I really have issues with breathing normally. I was breathing the wrong way the whole time. I find that when I breathe a few times like that, it definitely helps with the smell of the lavender. But yeah, it is what it is. But it's not gonna break me, okay? It's not gonna break you either. So just wanted to give you a little update of what's been going on with me. God got me. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed. Click the bell so you never miss when I upload. And also make sure that you follow me on my couples channel, Eddie and Michelle. That's down below. And make sure to follow my husband on his personal channel and our kids channel. That'll be down below too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video.